everyone, we are still at Speak Resort for the third edition for the Safe Motherhood Conference. And here I'm with Nekesa from BNN, and I want her to introduce herself, say a word or two that you can learn about Nekesa.
Hi everyone. My name is Nekesa Wamalwa. I am from BNN. I'm from PP Global. I lead the BNN Youth Movement, and I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. Fun fact about me, is that what you asked? Yeah. A fun fact about me is that I believe that everyone has their own sort of uniqueness, but for me, I thrive on learning more about why we behave the way we do, and how that behavior can influence what we are doing. For example, working with young people as well. Yeah.
I think we've had it all from Nekesa. She's a fun fact about her. Why do you do what you do? I feel that's so interesting. But heading back to our main topic today, we're in for this conference, and it's mainly targeting teenage pregnancies. As BNN, as a movement, do you feel like you guys have done the right, like has this information been spread out to the right, to the children, to the adolescents, to the young people out there? Because why are we still having these rates if it's really being spread? Is it just based to the urban center, or are they reaching even the people in the rural areas, the young children, the adolescents? Are they getting the right information? Are they bold enough to make the right decisions? Are they brave enough to speak to their parents? So tell me, Nekesa, as the youth of BNN.
I think that's a very hard question to answer at this point because you've asked it from a point of finality. I think for movements, we are all about progression, right? So for us, we look at social behavioral change, which takes a long time. Like different people are at different stages. So you need to be able to identify what those needs are for specific young people and then get them at that place, right? So for me, I would say that BNN is striving to do that because we keep on growing. Last year, we were in Senegal, Burkina Faso, West Africa. This year, we've grown to Kenya, Uganda, and we're looking at learning more about the young people before we actually roll out those programs, right? So for us, it's not a project that we're looking at 5 years and then we'll have achieved something. It's something that we're looking for young people to get ownership of, to actually be able to speak their own voices through this platform. And for us, that's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be a home for young people, and a home never ends, right? A home is somewhere where you keep on growing and somewhere where you get more people. Yeah.
As you said, it's progressive. Is there has a BNN registered down progress amongst the young people? Is there, like, when you look at the statistics and everything, can we be like, oh, from last year's statistics, our young people, the percentage of pregnancy was like, let me say 10%. Right now we have a difference of two, it's 8%. Is there some progress that as a home, because you've said it, and we just need to know, is the progress there or it's still stagnant?
So, for a movement, I know a project would have been easier to measure that progress in that sort of way, where you say that you've reached 1,000 people who have not given birth this year, and it has reduced by 10,000 and all that. But for a movement, it's more about how many people are being brought into this movement and what value they think they are getting from it, right? So for us, we don't look at. I mean, we can do the numbers, yeah, we have to do the numbers, but what makes us different, right? What what makes us different is that aspect of intersectionality, getting the young people's needs and how relevant those needs are to them and growing the movement towards that. We keep on moving with trends, right? This year we have LGBTQ problems in Uganda and all that. Next year we'll have different problems in Kenya. So we look at where that need for the movement is being brought out. So I would say that yes, it's a bit too early for us to measure that because we've just launched this year in Kenya and Uganda. But for us, it's more about how many more young people are being brought into this, how much money is going to the young people, what initiatives are being carried out, and how are those being sustained in the long run, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Nekesa. So, as a young child, like an adolescent, I'm pregnant, and you, there are four options that are registered down. My parents. Let me go specific. My mom. I have my best friend. I have my religious leader, either a pastor, a canon, a priest. Then I have me myself, as me making my own decision and choice, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to abort. So who is the first person, sincerely, would you first, do most young people first head to when they are in the situation you're pregnant, you're still in school, or you're not in school, but you are pregnant and you're a teenager?
If you're pregnant and you're a teenager, First of all, I would not go to my parents or the religious leaders, so that's already out.
Exactly, that's what I want. So if you don't head to your parent, who do you head to first?
Who do I head to first? I would say that for us, it depends on the situation. For example, you've just found out about the pregnancy. You want to know what your options are. So I'd go to the internet, like to be honest, because I'd be shy to tell my friends at that point. But should it get to a point where now I am progressing to make the decision that I want to make, then I'll go to my best friend and be like, this happened to me. What should I do? So first of all, it's all about the stigma. I'm afraid of the stigma. If I approach someone, I would be like, no, I need to figure out a solution for myself. Then once I've found out that information, then I can go to my best friend and then figure that out. Yeah.
Why not a mother first? Yet she's your first source of information. She's your best friend to the whole African setting. Feel like you had to first head to your mother. But why do most teenagers first head to either their friends or make the wrong decisions always as the first decision?
It's just that, like as I said, our parents expect the best of us, right? So when you approach your parents telling them you're pregnant and you're still in high school, what do they think? They start thinking of, oh my god, I've raised my child to, live with the morals that I thought that they would get, or the values that I thought they would have, or that's the thing that comes from your parents, and that shows that they're disappointed in you, right? As a child, I don't want to see that. I want to be able to solve that problem before I get to that point. I want to hide it as much as I can to protect my own reputation and theirs as well. So yeah.
So what would you tell these children who are scared and they have like the friends don't have the right information, them themselves they don't have the right information, but then they can't head to their parents. So what is the best advice you can give them there? But they're in the situation of I'm a teen and I'm having a baby.
Hmm. Okay, I would say that, it depends. If it's an urban setting, there are other resources that have come up. For example, I know I don't come from Uganda, but I know that in our case, there are chatbots, there are numbers that you can call free of charge, that you can just get information from people who are willing to give you that information. And then after that, I would still strive to say that in as much as it's going to be hard, you need to be able to confide someone who's older than you who can get you that help, because you're a teenager, you probably don't have that money to go and get the services you need, right? Or you're probably shy, or you need consent or something like that. So you need to talk to someone older than you, maybe an older sister, maybe an older cousin, someone who you feel comfortable going to, and then yeah, figure that out with them. But don't do it by yourself, as much as it might seem okay.
So what's your lastly, what do you advise the parents out there to their to their young ones? How should they handle them? Just as a youth and you're dealing with youths, what would you want to say to them? How best can you say to these parents as African parents?
I would say that first we should listen. It's very hard for us to listen without reacting. We always tend to react, right? As parents, we should listen. We should be able to come to a point where we actually try and see the different perspective. It might be very hard for that to happen. But then also remember that as parents, they were once there where we were, right? They wanted to get someone who's old enough who can give them that kind of information without repercussions. So let them actually think about that. If you are us, what would you do? It's great that we are coming to you. We don't want to get backlash after that. So please just give us a listening ear and help us out. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Thank you so much. I think Nekesa has tried to disseminate this information to the young children, to the young adolescents, and to the parents out there. Please, let's give a listening ear to our dearest young ones so that they can be able to feel comfortable to communicate to you first. As you have seen from her perspective, she wouldn't head to her mother first. She wouldn't head to anyone close to the religious bit, but she would first head to herself first, then maybe the best friend coming next, because there is protection of reputation. And then it's all about the setting. People in the urban area, in the rural areas, and you're seeing what the movements have done. What is BNN doing? What's the impact? And as she has explained, it's progressive. It's a home, and it's there to teach and educate the young ones in each and every way they can. We are still at Speak Resort Munyonyo, and we are in for the Safe Motherhood Conference, and this is the third edition.